was able to make the adaptations necessary, take it over Ender's J. He's going in with the Xianghua, which we did see Ender's managed to take it over in the set, but Xephukai made it pretty close. It was, what, 3-2, I believe.
Yeah, it was a matter of, and it is also important to note that Zeph did not go Sophie the entire time, right? He had one game that was arguably like a throwaway game because apparently he wants to play X more in this matchup than Sophie. Potentially it's a player thing. Potentially it's a thing where it's just like they've played against each other so often in this venue that they need one to spice it up a bit.
And goes to 3A plus B. Gonna get block pointers, negative 16 on block.
Yeah, so Zeph definitely has quite a road ahead of him to do something like this.
Ooh, and the 2K from downtown. That was like the most hip range 2K I've ever seen.
From downtown! He's heating up.
Ooh, nice. It decides up too late to punish the instant full crouch, or the full crouch 3B. That move is so hard to punish on a whiff, and it's safe on block. It's crazy how good that move is.
Wow, this has been all Zeph so far.
It has been. He's just been throwing all these buttons, catching Ender's J whenever he tries to move. He tries to sidestep, he gets hit by AAB. He tries to, duck, he gets hit by full crouch 3B.
Well, now that being said, something that I always talk about is when you have a situation where you have two players and they play in winners finals and then they meet back against each other in grand finals, I believe that the person initially, at the beginning, the person who lost winners finals actually has the advantage because they have the time to try and figure out what they're supposed to do before the other person has the time. So that's going to be the first game. But the main thing is that that advantage tends to go away once the grand finals has been reset. It's a situation of Anders can't necessarily take this as seriously as Zeph is because Anders' tournament life isn't on the line right now.
That's true.
And so it's difficult to consciously take it as seriously as if you were in loser's bracket. So a lot of times what you see is that, and I believe this is what happened when they played against each other in that grand final set that I referred to earlier, where Zeph had the grand finals reset on him, but eventually he had gathered enough information on how Enders was playing, and Enders, either out of lack of stamina and everything, wasn't able to readapt. He didn't have the time. And we might see the exact reverse happening here. Anders, again, has plenty of time. I wouldn't get too bugabooed by losing one game or even two more. So it's just a matter of figuring out what Zeph is doing, and hopefully he'll be able to do it a lot better than I did.
You definitely have a great sidestep, win the whiff punish from Ender's J. You're going to get the Ogi here. What do we got? You're going to go to the A6, catching the sidestep from Xephukai, trying to deny this movement from him, but misspacing it, giving Xephukai the opportunity to take his turn back. This will be a really hard-fought battle.
Yeah, as long as Enders is able to come up with just a handful of hits here and there, even if he's getting smothered by a variety of smaller attacks, he'll be able to win it out in the damage because the disparity between the characters is so high.
Yeah, like this combo here, if Ender's J gets a 3B launch, it's going to almost leave out the life bar at this point, right?
If he gets a 2A plus B lethal hit, he's winning.
Yeah.
If he gets a 2A plus B lethal hit now, he's tied.
Yes.
Well, that being said, it's relatively easy to play Xianghua in a controlled way where you're going to get hit by that, but you're not going to get hit by a 2A plus B lethal hit. It is also possible to overextend yourself as Xianghua and mash it to advantage, and then you die.
Yeah, now I have to be careful here. This is what Ender's J kind of wants, right? This is where forcing him to kind of walk towards these A6Bs. Mars A, now it's going to be huge damage. This should be more than enough to kill you with the low life bonus.
It honestly should have been pretty obvious that that's what Zeph was doing. I mean, he was fishing with that 3B 3 times in a row. Yeah, so obviously he's looking to spend the bar to win the round. So I wish he had gone for something that wasn't punishable, but that is a little bit difficult when you're playing Cervantes.
Yeah, especially against Xianghua with the I-12C.
Yeah.
Oh, nice wave punch. The IGDR gets full launch out of it, and just range for that. Xephukai getting in there, tech crouching under with the Coral. With the lethal hit, Hochiai gonna have to pick up maximum gunshots. B2, yep, you get the knockdown.
Doesn't even put him in the yellow life either. That's actually kind of cool. Because, I mean, this amount of life, Enders can kill in one combo with relative ease.
Yep.
Wall-Rising A won't kill, but any of the other big things will.
Well, okay. Didn't have the meter to punish that.
Yeah. But you don't need meter to punish it. I don't know.
Force block, and this is going to be the death of MK.
I appreciate the use of that meter very much. And I also appreciate the fact that he did a combo that essentially allowed him to get a lot of guard damage. I mean, a lot of guard damage from Exo standards, along with using the meter.
Yeah, definitely. Then that's how, if you block that move, it is plus 12 on block, so she does get a guaranteed critical edge after it. Does scale really hard, but at that low life, doesn't matter.
All right, challenging a little bit more now, but that's not necessarily the best way to go about it again. And also, it's the fact that Enders isn't getting the punishes on these small things, like the AA punishes on like a 3B or something like that, that might be giving Zeph a little bit more slack than he deserves.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, wow, that was a crazy hitbox. Fortunately, he blocked it.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it was on block, so he was at a solid amount of disadvantage after that. Is that... What is that? Nah, you're not going to get the wall because the walls in this game are weird. Is that... What is that?
Ooh, nice
beat up the grab.
Nice call up from Ender J. He did that before, but he got GI'd, but the time was correct on that one. B2 has the gunshot. Is he going to pop it? No, he doesn't.
He wants to try and do the 3 bit escape. I think that's a little bit greedy considering how patient Zeph is playing.
It is. Unless he gets a big whiff punish or something. I don't know if Xephukai's really going to give him the opportunity to kind of get it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
Oh, he goes to the Wall-Rising A, but gets smashed by the unblockable. All of a sudden, any sort of life disadvantage is going to be...
Yeah, see, he didn't get to use his lethal hit. I don't know.
I feel like he should have just cashed out on that, right?
Yeah. I think it's a little bit ambitious to assume Zeph is going to make a mistake of that magnitude with a character like this.
This is looking like a situation where, yeah, you're correct, Jay, or it could be,
Don't sound so surprised. Of course I'm right.
I mean, you've been wrong many times.
Name 2 times I've been wrong.
When you were like, that's he's not going to kill earlier on, and then it killed.
I don't remember that. I think you're making that up.
All right, and then there was that other time where you said something, and then were immediately, half a second later, proved wrong, like, an hour ago.
It's kind of a shame that you didn't go for the hard joke on there, where what you could have said was like, name 2 times that I've been wrong, and you could have said, well, you probably thought that you were going to win ECT after you won Winners Finals, right?
I thought about doing that, but I didn't want to go there.
Why not?
I don't know. I didn't want to bring up...
I went there on myself.
I didn't want to bring up he who shall not be named.
Oh, is that who we were talking about before?
Yeah. No.
No. What? You guys are confusing me.
There's a lot of people on the stream that should not be named.
Am I one of them? What the hell? Did you guys see that? That was weird.
That was crazy.
I know the 2A plus B hitbox got nerfed, but I didn't know it got nerfed to the point where like it didn't have a hitbox in front of it.
Sometimes it's like that. It's weird.
Oh, Soul Calibur.
Going to 2 plays again, but Xephukai looks like he's... I don't know, like, how he's hitting him with that horizontal. Like, I guess Ender J trying to do a movement option or trying to press a button. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's probably more of a timing thing than like an angular or mix-up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, still overwhelming him with buttons, but like in this very cautious way.
And
that's probably gonna kill.
Yeah, he should be dead.
Yeah,
Ender J
giving
Xephukai a lot of opportunities to close games out with the CEs, right? He's in a situation where Xephukai has the meter, and he's just presenting a situation like, hey, I'm negative 16. Kill me.
Yeah.
Like, end me.
Yeah, if you think about it, one of the things that we were talking about before, that we've talked about every time that we've seen Zeph play against Cervantes, is the fact that like Cervantes players would always run up to him, try to get him to duck, and do a 3B, right? So we're not seeing that in this set, but effectively we kind of are. It's just that 3B got reversed with Wall Rising A.
Yeah, definitely. And
so
nice. There we go.
I understand that difference because you want to try and catch X doing 2-2B, but the result is the same. So
it is. There we go. Gets him with the 6-6K on the run counter. Yeah, and we saw it earlier on, like in the first set, where he was doing this, backing away from Xianghua, forcing him to approach.
Yeah, he's just getting caught with some of his buttons a lot more, and I don't know, he's not going for as many grabs, so he's just getting 2A plus Bs blocked. Maybe I haven't been paying close enough attention, but I feel like he might be getting a little bit scared because X is relatively good at punishing with grabs. Pretty solid from crouch punishes.
It has the full crouch 3B with Meteor, can, spend the CE to get the whip punish as well.
Zeph has that CE again. He's not... Oh, no! He beat out the CE. I wonder if that was supposed to be soul attack.
Probably trying to go for the CE whiff punish, and that's going to be enough to reset the bracket.
Yeah.
I think he thought Xephukai whiffed big enough where he could have gotten the whiff punish with CE, but the second part of the string just clips the tip of him.
Yeah, it's not very easy to do that against Xianghua. She doesn't have very many moves that are single hit, that don't belong in, that aren't involved in strings, that aren't relatively long. Like the 3B it's a pretty far 3B. And like the full crouch 3B, like it goes pretty far.
It does.
So, trying to catch in between a string online against X, I don't know. That feels tough even when you have a character that's fast. But so we ended up resetting, and it kind of went as I expected. But just as I think that the person coming from losers has an advantage in the first set in grand finals, I think that the person who came into it from winners has an advantage in the second set, because now his tournament life is actually on the line, and he's had a lot of games to try and come up with something. So it's going to be a question as if Anders is going to go the Xephukai route and actually make use of his knowledge, or if he's going to go the JJJ route where the next 3 games is just another onslaught of the last 3 games.
It's hard to say, but like Xephukai is a player that has the endurance to keep going, right?
Oh, for sure. Just from sheer experience from the COVID stuff specifically.
And also the experience of just being a fantastic player for years.
Yeah. Yeah, just very kind of slow, I mean, you can kind of see how X is playing and think to yourself, this is not really going back and forth. X is just mashing a lot of buttons. But if you think that's not -16.
No.
That was weird. Yeah, I feel like Anders is getting kind of frustrated. He's, or that was just supposed to be a soul attack. In fact, that might have just been a situation where that was supposed to be a soul attack. But, yeah, I mean, it would make sense, spatially and frame-wise, in that situation, to try and, use a frame advantage to get out that round. But, the point I was getting at was that, with a character like X, you expect a million buttons. This is about as unbuttonsy as an X player can be while still trying to win. You know what I mean? If an X player is pressing as many buttons as the Cervantes player, there's no way to win. You're just not gonna beat out in the damage. So you have to be pressing at least 2 for every 1, or the ratio has to be around that level.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
He's kind of sitting right at that level.
I'd like to see Anders going for a few more lows just to try and to get Xephukai to start blocking low for more than just a throw, right?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe, the 2K isn't working. Maybe he's worried about CE, and that's why. But he doesn't have CE, every time.
No, he doesn't. And even if you have, full life bar, right? That's still getting him to, duck, to open up the things like the 2A plus B.
You see, he's not going to duck for the 2A plus B. There's no reason to, right?
No, he's pretty confident in that. It's the 2K, if you just hit him with a bunch of lows, or even K2, right? I feel like we haven't really seen K2 at all in this match.
Yeah, he doesn't really use K2. That's not what Enders is about.
It's a fantastic low, and it's gonna want Xephukai to start ducking low, right?
You know what I kind of wish Enders had done in the first set is do all-9 stuff to see if Zeph was going to be fully prepared for like 1As, 1Ks.
You want to see if he can react to like the lows that he would have defeated him in the past.
Yeah, to use the stuff that in this particular context could actually be of value, and use them when you have games to spare. You know what I mean? Like just using the time that you have to your advantage. Wow,
ooh, that
what
was
a punish on! Oh, that's the shame. But that was a really cool punish on Crybaby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just mean to say, like, use the environment to your advantage, you know? This is why Icy Chains does so well in these all-night tournaments, is that he understands, like, what this is.
There's the K2.
Yeah,
finally.
1 K2.
I really like it. Okay, nice spacing out, but again, that move has such a, like, you don't expect it to go that far, but she advances forward as she does it. And he's clipped it Enders J out of a potential whip punish quite a few times.
Man, Zeph has made such a good amount of use out of 2A plus B not being a horizontal anymore. Like, this whole strategy would have to be radically different if 2A plus B was still a horizontal. Ooh,
yeah,
nice step.
Yep. But
kind of wish he got more than a grab.
Oh, gets 2A plus B afterwards on the Resident Sleeper Xephukai.
Alright, got some good guard damage. Got a hell of a lot of good guard damage. If he wins this round, yeah, okay. If Enders had won that round, he would have had a really heavy lead. Not just because of the 2 rounds, but because of the amount of guard damage he was able to pull out there at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, going with 2A plus Bs again. He's trying to force it down his throat, and he tried to sidestep and press the button, but unfortunately the full card 3B from Xianghua retracts like crazy.
Man, Enders is... I mean, he's keeping up. It's not like this has been a demolishment. Even though the games have been heavily in Zeph's favor, I feel like for the most part, aside from like the first game of Grand Finals, they're pretty back and forth, right?
Yeah,
but I feel like Zeph's speed and the pace he wants to make for this match is what's dictating the set. Mm-hmm. So I feel like Enders is playing Zeph's game right now, and I wish that he found an ability to make it not that way, if that makes sense. Like, I wish that he was able to impose his game more. Is that really difficult as a Cervantes player against X? Maybe. Because you are dealing with a character that's much faster. But, yeah, it just feels like the times that I'm seeing Enders win, it's just because, like, he's a really good player and he was able to pull it out with some really good Cervantes moves. Like this.
Yeah, there we go.
Like, this is absurd.
Ring out.
Yeah. Oh, he got the gunshot lethal hit on that last one.
He did. That could play a big factor in this round.
Yeah, but 2 bars. That's scary.
It definitely is. Oh,
wow.
Like,
he could have CE punished there. Like,
he could have, but I feel like, oh,
ooh,
nice.
He finally got it off for the first time in somewhere between 3 and 80 years.
That's the metric.
What, years? What do you want to use?
The game hasn't even been out for 3 years, Jay.
Like parsecs or something? Oh, but it's been out for 80? Why did you take umbrage with the number 3 and not with the number 80? That's weird.
Alright.
Oh, I forgot. You can't comprehend numbers or whatever. Why did I grab with?
I don't know.
Yo, A6. I think
he got the
lethal hit again.
Wow.
Oh!
There we go.
He knocked him out of the bar.
That's huge. Nice. He started opening up the lows and started getting Xephukai to start having to attempt to deal with them.
Yeah.
And that did open up.
To knock him out of this mode, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like Enders plays so straight, which is great sometimes, but I don't know.
Battle 1. Fight.
Again, Enders J. Oh, nice backing up, getting the A6s on Xephukai's approach.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of success with that so far, but wait, what does that make the score? 2-1 or 1-1?
2-1, I believe.
Okay. Whew. The stepping all day. Andrew's trying to make as much out of the better stage positioning as he can, but he still has a lot of work to do. Gotta watch out for Crybaby.
Just correction, it is 1-1 right now.
Yeah, okay.
1-1 right now, okay.
Don't worry, I'm used to Zubaz lying to me.
There's been so many games with these two today that like I don't even remember.
Yeah, and you don't know numbers.
It's true, I don't.
You had a problem with the
number.
number 3 and not the number 80.
I can't see the number 3 or 80.
Oh, I see.
I'm colorblind.
It's like how I
see
can't see color? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
What color is the number 3, do you think?
I don't know.
If you
I
had
can't
to
see
guess.
it. I don't know. I can't see it.
Yeah, but like if you had to like, you know,
I don't know. It doesn't work
pontificate
that
on
way.
it.
It doesn't work that way.
Are you actually colorblind?
Yes.
What color?
Red, green, and purple.
Oh, both of them?
Yeah.
Well, if you have one, then you probably can't see purple, right? Are there colorblind people who can actually see purple?
It's a spectrum.
Oh. I thought if like one portion of it was gone, then for certain purple would not be there.
It's hard for me to tell, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right, getting back into the game. While rising it, he hits him.
I mean, you're not missing much. Purple isn't really that good of a color.
Yeah, I barely see Amy players go for it, so it can't be that good.
Hey-oh. Nice step.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Zeph went for the full string there. I mean, he had so much life to make up. I guess it makes sense.
Definitely. Ooh, hey, gonna get block punished. Ooh, the soul attack. Ooh, gets blocked. And still gonna be plus frames. Gonna be able to chip him out, but the hip range on the launch. I don't think he gets much off.
Oh, he actually gets something out of this.
Yeah, nice. The back turn actually gave him more than he probably would have got if he was forward turn.
Yeah. So that's gonna even it out mostly.
Yep. Slight life lead for Xephukai.
Okay.
So even if Anders wins this round, he won't have any meter going into round.
Which is probably
5.
what Zeph wanted anyway.
Yep.
Doesn't get the punish on the parry. That's interesting. That's something for Zeph to remember in the future.
Yeah, negative 14.
Oh, I thought it was
16
12.
now.
Okay.
It's negative 16 now, actually.
Jesus, really? Wow.
Yeah, they nerfed it to negative 16.
Huh. Wow, I could be punishing that a lot harder then. Okay. Yo, so many buttons. See, he's trying to, like, do stuff in between, like, the strings. Like, I just feel like he needs to give Xianghua a little bit more space because you are dealing with a character that's going to be throwing a lot of strings like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really getting him in trouble.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to hit, but it's not going to kill.
No,
I don't
just
think.
kill. It doesn't do as much damage as normal CEs. So yeah, gonna leave it with just a little bit of life left to run up 2K.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In the
That's
set.
amazing Oki.
Mm-hmm. And Enders J, he's been, and as you said, he's been making it very, very close. He has been making Xephukai really, really work for it.
Yeah.
And I think it's just coming down to the situations where Enders is trying to whiff punish Xephukai when he's doing these strings, and he's getting hit by a lot of them, and it's just giving Xephukai the ability to take that advantage and just keep going with it, right? If Enders J just took an extra step backwards, or put a button a little bit more preemptively, like a faster button in, like a 2A or something, to try and hit him out, just to stop that from Xephukai, that could go a long way.
I could understand the temptation in both ways. For one, if you backstep too much, obviously you're not going to get the whip punish. Yeah, see, there it goes again. If you backstep one more step, there's a relatively good chance that you're not going to get the whip punish at all on singular hit. So in effectively, you're just kind of like turning the wheel of options, you know what I mean? But that is kind of necessary for an adaptation for like a longer set.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. That's why I got cut off in the middle of my... But then the other thing is that, like, you know, the previous games, and especially the first set... Oh,
yeah,
if that wall
it doesn't tech crouch the entire time.
Well, yeah, it doesn't really tech crouch at all. It just starts from crouch.
The 2A plus B lethal hit absolutely just changing the entire momentum of this round.
I gotta say, I think it's really impressive that Zeph... I mean, you're talking about how many games now? So we have 3 So just counting grand finals, not counting winners finals. We had 3 in the first set and 3 in this set so far. That's 6 games, and I think we've seen, I believe that is the third 2A plus B lethal hit we've seen so far this set. He's only been hit by 3 2A plus Bs.
And there we go. He was a little bit farther back that time, so he was actually able to get the CE whiff punish.
Yeah, that's true. He was able to get past the string.
Yep.
So you're definitely kind of seeing like how the amount of time that Ender's had in the first set is allowing him to get more time, more information, and more reads on his opponent, so he doesn't necessarily get overwhelmed. Ooh, nice challenge.
Nice whip punish again. He's taking the space. He's backing up more.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he needed to do against Xianghua. And it's working out for him. Nice tech on the throw. Enders J looking to huge tech again. Not trying to give Xephukai this life lead. Forcing the Mars A going to whiff.
Yeah, now this is all about a matter of who's whipping more often. They've both gone into this area. So in the initial set, the spacing overall was going like when they were right next to each other and trying to like sidestep each other. Now it's a matter of being like 1 to 1.5 character lengths away from each other and seeing how they can make the other one whiff more often. Which I think if you're able to get Zep to whiff as Cervantes in this matchup, that's definitely winning.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, see, it was a double backdash that time rather than a single backdash.
Nice getting the back throw. That's sometimes where the throw is a good punish when you get the back throw.
Yeah, when it's guaranteed, sure. Ooh, man. He's trying so hard, dude.
Nice.
Now he's getting the sidestep punishes. This is a big change. This is an important change.
It is putting like guard damage on as well. That could play a huge factor. Flashing red. Cervantes does more guard damage than you think.
Trying to go for more strings.
Okay,
so that's going to be the round there. But he's going to have to deal with double bar Cervi and a red gauge. Now, that being said, it's not necessarily the Cervi's guard damage that's bad, but his guard crush combos are bad, if only because there's a good chance that they're going to whiff for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, he's so inconsistent on his guard crush combos that you could end up getting 0 damage.
It depends on how he guard crushes you and what he guard crushes with. And that really factors on how much he's going to get off a guard crush combo. Nice resist impact from Xephukai.
But he only do that so many times. Oh, no. See, like, he's got to deal with another bar, dude. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot of A6s. That's a lot of chip damage. Ew, what was that supposed to be?
That's going to hurt. Is
he
dead?
Gonna be the game.
Oh, no, just staying in. But the fourth block, he stays on the ground.
Yeah, he essentially had to stay grounded because of the guard crush.
And nice sidestep from Ender J. He delayed the A slide V, so he didn't get retracked by the string.
Yeah, really solid stuff here.
Yeah, one thing with Soul Calibur is if you're trying to whiff punish a vertical string, or even just verticals in general, too early, like if you're preemptively sidestep, a lot of the time, especially if you step to the strong side, which Ender J did, if you try and whiff punish too early, you'll extend your hitbox into it, and they'll retrack and hit you and launch you instead of you getting the whiff punish.
It also, pretty greatly depends on the frame advantage / disadvantage that you were at. So what he ended up blocking was effectively like a force block situation, and Enders was still recovering from it. When Zeph was able to get up and actually press the button. Not to mention, it's Xianghua, so the button's faster than what Cervi is normally being able to pull off. So the last time we saw this this stage, it was Sophie versus Cervi, and it was one of the more one-sided matches that we had between these two players.
Definitely, Ender J able to bring it all the way up to 2-2. The winner of this game, a little too early on the whip punish, will take grand finals and be the tournament champion of week 10.
Yeah, I guess like just the act of threading the needle here is so difficult. See, he kind of wanted to do it there too.
And he did. He actually threaded the needle.
Yeah, well, he chose a different option, right? He didn't try to whip punish it. He duck punished it instead. He knew that the string. So technically speaking, if Zeph had just not completed the string, he would have been fine. So we're really going through the wheels of options here. This is one of my favorite things to watch. Like in all of my life.
Your entire life, this moment here. I
mean, just like these kinds of matches where you're really seeing the granular aesthetic. Well, I was going to say aesthetic beauty, but I feel like everybody's going to think that I'm being facetious when I say that. But I do kind of mean it. Like, you really don't get this from anything else. Oh, he tried to duck.
Ooh. Doesn't get the wall splat, unfortunately, but he's back turn right now. What?
Cervantes just spasming out over there.
He went back turn. That was so weird.
Yeah. Well, he went front turn into back turn. It was weird. I don't know what happened, but hey, Andrew's got a lot of guard damage right at the end of that round. Nice block.
Gotta get the wall rising A. Goes for the 3 people's K, trying to catch Xephukai ducking.
Well, he's also doing it as like kind of like a meaty attack, where it's just like, okay, if Zeph tries to get up pressing a button here, it's not going to work. The only weakness that it has is to rolls. His back is to the wall. He doesn't really have a lot. Okay, he immediately is able to sidestep to get into a more favorable position.
Yeah, hits with double A6s. Oh wow, look at this guard damage and just backing away. Gets the chip damage with the A6.
Yeah, he's got to be worried about these 3Bs though. So it's going to be a battle of when Zeph is going to be able to use... okay.
This is huge.
Yeah. It was going to be a battle of as to when the guard crush was going to come versus when Zeph would be able to use the meter. And Zeph was a little bit too obvious with his 3Bs, which he's done in the past. Whenever he had the ability to like potentially win with 3B CE, he would always just mash 3B.
Again, trying to be preemptive, but the string catching him out of it. But this is not a terrible situation for Andrew J. He's going to get the bar of meter.
It could have been a lot better, though.
It could have been better, right?
If you had gotten Zeph to use a bar, that it would have been pretty huge. But now it's literally just even as opposed to having an advantage.
Yeah, definitely going to pop it early, trying to do as much damage as possible.
And normally the person who uses the meter early is the one that's in a bad way, especially if it's 2 versus 1. So this is definitely coming down to a match of resources, it seems.
Oh, wow, what happened? The second hit whiffed, so he stopped guarding?
Yeah, I don't know. He ate a lot of damage on the ground there.
He did.
He's not dead to CE yet. Now he is. So now we're in a pretty big deal. But that's going to be the game.
Yep.
So good job. That was a very technical, cerebral set. These are my favorite kinds of things to see, where you're not necessarily seeing